Hey guys, today we're going to read 3.3 from our CKLA activity books. This is from Unit 2, the classification unit that we are on. It is page 31. See it here? There were 2 pages that you took home on this. I stapled most of them together. We're going to read all of this together. Today we just read the front page together and compared these 2 texts. So now we're going to read it together. I'm going to start over here in the reading aloud, or reading vertebrates or invertebrates. You see that section? Put your finger right here where it says many. And we're going to read this aloud. Many other animals also are vertebrates. All mammals, reptiles, fish, and birds have a backbone, so they are all vertebrates. They have some type of spinal cord too. Put your finger here where it says animals on the next paragraph. Animals with a backbone come in all different shapes and sizes. Apes, rhinos, horses, rabbits, bats, and yes, rats and humans too are all mammals and vertebrates. Lizards, turtles, snakes, and crocodiles are reptiles and vertebrates. Huge sharks and tiny goldfish are vertebrates. Small hummingbirds and large eagles are vertebrates too. So remember, some people say vertebrates and invertebrates. Some people say vertebrate and invertebrate. You'll probably hear vertebrate and invertebrate more often, but I just say it the way I say it. So thinking in this, what do we call animals and living things with a backbone? What do we call that? Yep, it is a vertebrate. So it says all mammals, reptiles, fish, and birds have a backbone, so they are all vertebrates. Let's read on. I'm going to go to the next page. So this text, if you turn to the next page, if you go to page 33, this column that says reading, vertebrates or invertebrates, that is where this text continues. So we were just on the front, page 31, right here. If you just go to the next page, you will get to this one, page 33. You see it here? And you're going to go to the column that says reading, vertebrates or invertebrates. Put your finger on the word where it says but there. Put it on but. But there are many more animals that do not have a backbone. Animals without backbones are called invertebrates. Insects are the largest group in the animal kingdom. Insects are also the largest invertebrates. Insects include flies, wasps, beetles, cockroaches, ladybugs, and butterflies. Other kinds of invertebrates include earthworms and spiders. So look back in the text, what insects are invertebrates? Well, all insects are, but what insects are listed in the text that are invertebrates? If you look down here, you should see in the text here, flies, wasps, beetles, cockroaches, ladybugs, and butterflies. Very good. That is it for the reading vertebrates or invertebrates. So you can move on to this next side now where it says read aloud vertebrate animals. We're going to read that section next. This one's a little longer, so you can see it here. It's on the back, it's on this page, and on the back of this one. All right, so let's read that. Read aloud vertebrate animals. Let's look at our heading. There is our heading. Put your finger where it says for today. We are on page 31 of 3.3. We went back to the front page. Put your finger where it says read aloud vertebrate animals. For today, let's take a glimpse at the backbones of the 5 animal species to which my 5 friends belong. We've seen that a hippopotamus has a backbone. Next, let's take a look at one of Ebenezer's fellow egrets. Its backbone, or spinal column, helps to hold its head up high and protects its spinal cord. Like all egrets, Ebenezer could not live without his backbone. All birds have backbones or vertebrae. So if you look here, these are the 5 animals that we are talking about in class, right? We have fish. Can you remember all of them? I'll wait and let you guess. Fish, mammals, birds, amphibians, and reptiles. Those are the 5 animal categories we're talking about in class. So let's read on. Put your finger where it says snakes, right here. Snakes don't look like they have backbones, do they? Even though snakes slither or slip and slide along, they absolutely do have backbones. A snake's vertebrae, like anacondas, run the length of its body and swing low to the ground as its muscles help it move along the ground or climb up trees. All reptiles have backbones, so you can't always tell from the outside whether an animal is a vertebrate with a spine, backbone, or whether it's an invertebrate. We need to go to the back side of this, and as you turn to the back side, try to remember, can you tell just by looking at an animal if it has a backbone? No, we can't tell just by looking at it. Go back to page 32 on, oh, there is no label at the top. So we're just on the back of 3.3, page 32. Do you see where the read aloud continues? There's nothing on this side. This side is blank. So the heading says read aloud vertebrate animals. It says, how about fish? So let's continue there. How about fish? Would you say fish have a backbone? The answer is yes. All fish have backbones too, just as reptiles, birds, and mammals do. It's very tricky to see, but if you took an X-ray of its body, you would see that all the other tiny bones that make up the skeleton of the fish are connected to its spine. Paolo told me that even though all fish have backbones, some fish, like sharks and stingrays, have backbones that are made of lighter and more bendable cartilage instead of a hard bone, allowing them to be more flexible and travel more quickly. Earlier in class, do you remember? I had you grab the top of your ear and pinch it a little, bend it. That is cartilage. So they're saying that stingrays and sharks have their backbones are made of bendable cartilage. Now, it's much bigger than this, right, on a shark. But that's what it is. It's much lighter and it allows them to move a little more freely. Put your finger here where it says that leaves amphibians. That leaves amphibians. Take a look at my animal friends one more time. Pay close attention to the toad next to Tabitha. It's hard to tell when you look at a toad's body that there is a backbone inside. Do you see the exclamation mark? Let's read that again. It's hard to tell when you look at a toad's body that there is a backbone inside. We're going to read it with a little excitement. Now tell me, do toads have backbones? You see the question mark there? It's a question, so we want to say. Now tell me, do toads have backbones? Yes, to be sure, they certainly do. Toads are vertebrates too. All amphibians have backbones. There's a lot of exclamation marks in this because this is really exciting. That means all 5 of the animals that you've seen today are vertebrates. They all have backbones. So that is it for that page. We're going to go to the next page. This is the second one of 3.3. It is page 33. And we're going to look right here where it says read aloud vertebrate animals. We're just continuing that page we just had. Put your finger where it says think, right here. Think how many insects there must be on our planet. They make up 3/4 of all the species in the animal kingdom. There's an exclamation mark again because that's exciting. Can you name a few of the many animals in the insect group? Flies, wasps, beetles, cockroaches, ladybugs, and butterflies are all insects. Let's go back and read that together. Put your finger where it says flies. Let's read it together. Read aloud with me. Flies, wasps, beetles, cockroaches, ladybugs, and butterflies are all insects. There are surely a lot more species of insects than there are species of amphibians, mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles, all put together. That is exciting, but those are a lot of big words, so sometimes I even have a hard time saying them. So if you ever have a hard time reading them, just read it again. Let's read it again together to see if I can do it better this time. Put your finger where it says there. There are surely a lot more species of insects than there are species of amphibians, mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles, all put together. All right, let's go down here where it says, even though insects are by far the largest group of invertebrates, they are not the only invertebrates. Here's another question for you to think about. Close your eyes and pretend you're a taxonomist for a moment. Remember, taxonomist, you classify animals. So close your eyes. Can you think of any other animals without backbones? Here's a hint. Instead of internal vertebrae, these animals have an external or outer hard body covering. Can you think of any? We talked about them in class today. If you're in my class, I think the other classes probably did too. Let's turn on to the back and read this last part and find out which animals have vertebrae on the outside. So on the back side here, where it says the largest group, we are on page 34. Are you ready? Put your finger where it says the for the largest. Remember, our heading is the Read Aloud vertebrate animals. The largest group of invertebrates is made up of arthropods. Insects make up the largest group of arthropods. Another large group of arthropods includes arachnids. Let's read that sentence together because arthropods and arachnids are two hard words, and let's see if you can say them with me. Put your finger where it says another. Another large group of arthropods includes arachnids. Great job. Spiders are arachnids, and so are ticks, daddy longlegs, and scorpions. Insects have 6 legs and 3 body parts. The ant has very long antennae. They almost look like legs. In comparison, arachnids have 8 legs and 2 body parts. Instead of having flexible internal skeletons, all of the arthropods wear a tough exoskeleton or protective covering on the outside. I bet you can recognize some of these common examples of insects and arachnids, and you would have seen that on the slides today. So that is our read aloud for today. You can read this with a family member. You can listen to my videos. You can read it aloud now that you are done. Maybe sometime I'll show you how to record yourself reading it, and then you can send it to me. So this is it today. I can't wait to hear what all you remember tomorrow about our vertebrate and invertebrate animals. All right, see you guys.